Alrighty guys, this is the long-awaited TT Pepe's, aka Sugar, aka Eli's, long-awaited beginner's guide, by the way. This guide took forever to make and come around to just because there is so much knowledge that I know about this character, and I've been S-Badge for almost, the last time he came out was season 2, so almost like 33, 34 seasons, and have been really consistent with him and used him in all sorts of levels and tournament play and all sorts of stuff. But my best peak was in season 11 with 264 wins and overall 50% win rate with 52 stars. But anyway, I will be going over instant lassos, one-tap lassos, aim assists, buffs and nerfs, patroller counters, negating damage, and tips and tricks. Then again, remember these is just only a beginner guide. The full-on longer video that's all the knowledge I could possibly contain will be going into another video that I will post on YouTube because I think it'll be a little too long. This video is going to come out to be like around 11 minutes, but there's so much information to cram, so let's just get right into it then. Alrighty, so this is just me going into practice mode and just playing with a friend. This is how I kind of one-tap, or instant lasso really. Usually people ask what's the difference between what's one tap and instant. Instant is kind of like where you just do it super quick, and one tapping is where you just tap it. Now they did buff the animation where it's kind of similar no matter what you do, but I still prefer instant. The way I instant lasso is I kind of like move a lot and I don't stand still. Like I don't stand still to lasso, I kind of move in a circle. You see I'm running straight to the hunter and then lasso. That's because even though they buff the animation, you running in like circle or running in place or running towards the hunter or away from the hunter, it speeds up the lasso animation, therefore giving you time to lasso. Don't do it too quick or else you will obviously miss. But here's a little trick right here where if you time your lasso correctly, you can make them struggle out of a balloon and they're stuck in animation and you're not. That which buys you more time, of course. Now this I put in slow-mo because here's a really important key part. If the hunter picks up the survivor right next to you, and if they swing and you lasso, you cancel out their attack. So for example, he swings, he would have hit me, but I lassoed and it canceled the attack. Right, this next part, I'm gonna be talking about aim assist. Aim assist is like your best friend, all right? Aim assist is gonna like, it's so broken. It's like Gamekeeper's aim assist, but like on a whole other level. And you're gonna see in one of these clips that I do in slow-mo what I mean by that. So people bring excitement for Cowboy, but another thing that people try to do is use blink. So right here, this Wu-Chang is going to pick up the survivor. I'm going to lock on with the balloon with aim assist and let go as they try to blink. You're gonna see that the lasso will automatically go through that wall and grab them, which means it's broken. So here's another look at it. You're gonna see me lock on real quick and they're gonna try to blink through. As soon as you see the lasso automatically corrects itself and grabs that survivor. So aim assist, as long as you let go when that circle is full, no matter what the hunter does, you will always get the lasso all the time. Doesn't matter if it's a pallet, it doesn't matter if it's a balloon survivor or the hunter, it will work, as you can see right here. It grabs them through the entire wall. And here's another example, really zoomed in. It's aim assist is so good, you can use it for so many scenarios, but as you can see, it's completely broken and really good, so I recommend to use it every now and then. Alrighty, so we're gonna talk about Cowboy's nerf. So Cowboy got nerfed to an extent. He got nerfed for his elevation. So you and the hunter kind of have to be on the same kind of like level for you to lasso survivors. So you're gonna see in one of these examples in a second that the Luca, who's ballooned, I'm aiming exactly on top of the Luca and instant lassoing, and it's not working. This was the change that came along when he got adjusted again. So basically, no matter how high or low the hunter is, you can always lasso the hunter if you lock on, and you'll always get it. However, they changed that with the survivors, where in order for you to lasso the balloon survivors, they have to be a little bit more towards the ground. So if a hunter goes upstairs with a balloon or goes downstairs, you kind of have to be on the same level for you to get that balloon survivor still. It's not too much of a big difference, but you will notice it. So This also applies to survivors. So if a survivor's upstairs and you're trying to lasso them downstairs, depending on how high they are, you can still get it, but it's not a guarantee. So this was the nerf that they added, so be careful with that and see if you guys can figure anything out as well too along with it. Alright, so this is the patroller one. I've seen some people say Cowboy doesn't count a patroller, but as you can see in this clip right here, I lasso and they get bit off, and I still got a boost. The reason why this works is if you lasso the balloon survivor before the bite happens, the logic is that you're not on Cowboy's back, so therefore you get bit. So it's like if Toy Merchant's flying and she gets bit by the patroller, she automatically pops to the ground. That's the logic. But if you time your lasso before the bite, during the bite, or right after the bite, they won't get bitten, and you can cut out the patroller for them. So that's something to keep in mind, by the way. So Cowboy can counter patroller for survivors. You gotta just time it right. And he can also counter patroller himself, as you can see. You do it too slow or too late, the patroller would bite you. However, if you time it correctly, just like Antiquarian and Acrobat, he can counter a bite by flipping over the hunter, as you can see right here. So it's not guaranteed, and it's a really hard thing to do. This requires a lot of skill to time. Even I struggle with it, but it's something to keep in mind. So if you ever go against a feature or something like that with patroller or a naiad, you can kind of time it yourself. This next one right here is negating damage. So when Cowboy flips over the hunter and he does it correctly, you will negate any damage at all. So as you can see, the naiad dashes at me and I have 50 water and I flipped over it and it went away. So this works with a lot of hunters. It works with River's Fog Blade, Bombs. It works with Ivy. It works with a lot of hunters except Wax Artist. I don't know why Wax Artist, but a lot of hunters. So you can negate damage if you flip over the hunter, whether it be aim assist or instant. So you can play around with that, but the logic is that when you flip over the air, nothing's supposed to hit you, so therefore you take no damage. So yeah. These next clips are just showing how Cowboy can use the palette trick on Moonlit. I wouldn't say Cowboy's best map is Moonlit, but it's a pretty good map if anything, because there's a lot of tricks you can do with palettes. Now, as you saw in the previous one, I thought I locked on, but they buffed Cowboy where if you just show that green aim for a split second, like right here, you can get that lasso. It'll automatically connect. It's like an aim assist, but you can do it without having it to glow green if you know the range and how to do it. This requires a lot of timing and practice, but as you can see it, look, I get the green arrow and I push it to the side. It has a little bit of range and it lets me lasso to the side rather than getting stuck. Same thing right here. I can just instant lasso it and whatnot. On the slide, it glue green for just a split second, giving me that time to lasso. These next few clips are showing how Cowboy can kind of use the instant lasso on drop downs to trick hunters, like right here. The BQ's gonna drop down and I flip over them and they drop down. This is kind of a kiting strategy you can do. I don't see a lot of Cowboys use this. I would recommend a lot of Cowboys to do this. A lot of hunters don't really expect it. It's kind of a high risk, high reward. If the hunter knows what you're trying to do, they obviously may not fall for it. But if they don't know, and you can probably get a sneaky one in, it's high risk, high reward. So use this at your own cost, but it's pretty good. Now, you're gonna see in these next few clips, I do another thing like this, but a little different. So if you're ever in basement, which, Cowboys sometimes run to hide, me personally, I don't, but you can lock on, and on the hunter at the very edge, when they try to drop down, hit you, and you will flip over them and you will not crash into the wall. You will actually gain a lot of distance. And right here, it negates drop downs. So when Cowboy flips into basement over the hunter when they're camping, it happens so fast. Unlike Emil, when Emil crashes into the wall and he does the animation of falling down, Cowboy doesn't have that. So Cowboy automatically just kind of plops himself almost instantaneously into the basement, and then his speed boost kicks in, like right here. So the hunter can never drop hit you. So it's something to keep in mind when you're doing a basement rescue. So yeah. You're gonna see right here again, they're gonna flip, they're gonna try to swing, instant, and they can't hit me because of that speed boost. And these last clip is a window trick. So now window tricks were nerfed. They were shadow nerfed to an extent, but it's still possible. You're gonna see right here, I flip over the BQ and go over this window. Now in slow-mo again right here, you have to wait until like the animation when they're frozen in midair. Watch, they're frozen right there, and then you go for it. You do it too soon and too late, it will not work. You can do it, if you try to lock on, you will never get it, and it's very punishable. So do not ever do aim assist to vault through windows. You can use aim assist to vault over the hunter before they vault and after they vault, or if they're near the edge, and that will work. but never aim assist when they try to vault, because you will never make it and you will get punished half the time. So just keep that in mind. But window tricks are still possible on some windows, but not all. Now, this is really hard to do. Is it worth it? I don't think so. You can definitely do it, but it requires a lot of practice and it's really hard to do. On this clips, it's kind of showing how you can use Cowboy's like elevation to flip over the hunter and get some massive distance to go for rescues. Like right here, you get that, you basically go flying. So this is just to show kind of how you can just use Cowboy's big lasso range to go upstairs and do all sorts of stuff. But in conclusion, this kind of sums up my short little Cowboy guide. It's for beginners, nothing too special. I will make the longer version on YouTube because there's so much to cover. And I know this was kind of like fast paced, but it's the best I can do for now for just beginner, because there's too much information, and this just kind of shows a little bit of basics. Some of you guys may know this, some of you guys may not know this, but it's still all information that I could review. But anyways, I will try to do the next one at some other point whenever I can. Just, try it out, practice, and see what you guys can do.